If you guys are familiar with advertiser, now a lot of advertisers talk about impressions, clicks, but in the end, businesses really don't care about imaginary, numbers, internet numbers, right, as they say. So it's hard to get them to care. What they care about is new revenue for their business, customers in the door, and the phone ringing off the hook. That's the bottom line, right? That's what every advertiser wants. So what are we going to talk about today? Fully managed solutions, right? We're going to show you guys, we're going to talk about how you're going to acquire new customers, how to expand their offering to existing advertisers, migrate your existing advertiser customers to increase profit, performance, and retention. And we're going to talk about a whole lot more. These are like the 6 verticals that we excel at. Obviously, we can get the job done for any business, but really excel for the small and medium businesses. And these categories make up roughly about 80% of all the local businesses that are out there. So by selling our digital advertising solution to these verticals, you can sell with confidence, guys, knowing that you will be delivering excellent results for your clients with a proven system that we have here. So on to the next slide. All right, next one. It's all about knowing the customer, right? And it's all about taking them through one of these 3 experiences. And knowing the customer is really the advertiser knowing the customer, right? Because the majority of local businesses sell best when people call or visit their location, or again, online, right? Or both. So we have tailored our advertising specifically to help these businesses maximize their results. So phone calls. I want my digital advertising campaign to result in phone calls or emails to my business, right? Store visits. I want my digital advertising campaign to result in customers visiting my store. Or I want my digital advertising campaign to result in phone calls to my business and customers visiting my store. Obviously, online, right? When we say store, we mean online store or actual physical location. Now, let's talk about the advertiser sales process, right? How to sell to your clients. I'm going to walk you through some examples here of the process, right, of talking to these people and how you can really explain the actual solution to them. So it's all about driving, right? Phone calls, store visits, driving traffic to their website. That's what it's all about. That's what these businesses want. And that's exactly what we can do for them. We're doing it on a large scale right now for hundreds of clients. So this is the deal. This is what you have to ask these clients, about, taking them to the next level and helping them acquire more customers. That's what we're here to do. We want to help them bring in more business. That's what it's all about. So bullet point here, what has worked best to generate new ones? Have you tried other tactics that didn't work? Do you know why, or was the reporting not clear? Why, it's all about reporting, right? Knowing, what's going on. How much do you think it costs to generate one? What would you estimate the lifetime value to be of your client? Any new initiatives or opportunities to share? Do you have access to any co-op advertising? So again, questions are important to ask these businesses here to really find out the campaign objective, right? What we do is we leverage the latest digital advertising to do what? Target the prospect and customers searching for their service and visiting their competitors or complementary places of business. That's how we target here. We're going after their prospects, but we're also going after the prospects that are going to their competition with our technology, since it's so high end. Second thing is we're going to increase the number of phone calls they receive for their services and new customers that visit their businesses. We're going to increase traffic to their website. We're going to increase traffic to their store. And the bottom line is we're going to monitor and improve their investment with monthly proof of performance reports. And that's really important, guys. Reporting is like everything. And the reporting that we have, which I'll show you, is so robust, it's so in depth, and it tracks everything that there's an impossibility for them to say, hey, you guys aren't working or you're not doing your job. It's black and white, and we can totally prove it. So how do we create all this traffic and get them all this business? It's all with the latest technology, obviously, right? We're Google partners, we're Facebook marketing partners. We do this with programmatic search and display, geofencing, and again, geofencing and GPS tracking. So those are two different types of, and I'll get into that. We retarget there on Google, we retarget on Facebook, we do click to call ads, we create mobile landing pages, reputation extensions and location extensions, which I'll explain to you exactly what all this means here. All right. And to get deep into it. All right. So why is technology important, guys? You got to think about it. There is so much technology out there. We have state-of-the-art technology, AI technology, that's basically what it's doing. It's optimizing the campaign, right? It's taking a look at all those keywords, taking a look at the market, taking a look at, the whole campaign, as a whole, and constantly adjusting by itself, right? We plug in the numbers in there, what we're looking for, and it'll just constantly learn. And every day it gets smarter and smarter. That's what AI does. So pragmatic buying is quicker, smarter, and more efficient. And what happens is their dollars go further, and the ROI is huge for the client, because again, you have machines that are a lot smarter than we are. We can't watch that campaign 24/7. And it's just like stock trades, right? It's impossible for someone to be there 24/7 looking at trades. What do they have? They have AI technology. They punch in the numbers that they want, they buy, they sell. And that's why 85% of all US stock trades are made by machines. Now, next thing here, phone calls, store visits, right? This is really important, guys. We're going to give you a high level overview of our tactics, and we're going to determine what's the best for the actual advertiser, right? Is it going to be, search? Is it going to be a combination, of Facebook ads, Instagram? Is it going to be on big data? Is it going to be display advertising? Are we going to use, geofencing or GPS tracking? Again, what's cool about geofencing and GPS tracking, what happens is consumers enter that geofence area, and we have it down now to 3 feet, all right? And that's with the GPS tracking. So I'll give an example, like Taco Bell. If someone goes to either let's just say Taco Bell, right? And they see what's going to happen is, and what we'll do is we'll target Chipotle. Anybody going to Chipotle, which is kind of the same type of food, right? I mean, it's kind of that Western South, that Mexican, Southwestern, or the Southern type of food. And what happens is, what it does is it'll show when someone steps into the Chipotle. What we do is they get into that 3 foot zone, or that area, that right at Chipotle, right in that area. What'll happen is we'll start sending ads to that visitor that entered that conversion zone. So think about it. You have someone that goes to Taco Bell, and we know that they're there, and Chipotle, we run an ad for Chipotle. So everyone that visits Taco Bell, guess what? We're going to hit those people with an ad. This is highly effective. We have 5,000 points of data on over 200, I'd say almost like 280 million, people. So 5,000 data points means that we know them basically better than they know themselves. And with the data and the technology that we have, there is no way that we can't generate more phone calls, more visitors to their website, more visitors to their business, reservations, consultations, appointments. We can do anything that business wants, right? It's all about talking to that business and finding out exactly what their needs are, what they're looking for. Some people want just a phone call. Great, we'll generate it. All right. What we do is with this, or the search advertising with Google Ads, we have a click to call. And what happens is we embed tracking numbers directly into search ads to make it easy for searchers to click the call, right from their mobile phone, because everybody's doing everything on mobile. We'll generate tons of valuable calls to that business, and it'll be tracking and reporting on everything. And I'll drill that down later. So click to call campaigns are awesome for people, for businesses that want those phone calls, right? They want to convert that person over the phone. Next one that we have, it's called review extensions. This generates up to 66% more click-throughs, guys. More and more customers, they don't want to hear you, say, they don't want to hear you talk about your product and service. They want to hear what customers have to say, right? So with the ratings there, and again, that's why it's so important, again, with our other services that we offer, having reviews is huge for businesses. And I always say this, you can't create, well, you can, but we suggest that before we do any type of advertising campaign for any company, that we do a reputation management campaign showing these business owners, showing them basically how, it's kind of like we'll teach you to teach them, right? A lot of businesses, give me an example, restaurants, right? A lot of restaurants, and that's just one industry. A lot of restaurants don't even know who their customers are, right? They'll see them every day. They know them by name. Sometimes they don't, because, bigger restaurants obviously have a huge influx and outflux of people, or maybe they're buying online. But a lot of these businesses a lot of these restaurants don't know who their clients are. And a lot of businesses don't collect data. And what happens is, if you're not collecting data, you're just sitting there and you're waiting for someone to give you a review, okay? And that's a big, big, big mistake that can happen to any business, right? They're expecting people to go out of their way, remember how awesome that experience was. Like, give me an example. I'm the kind of person that I don't leave reviews, and I don't leave reviews because it's just, I don't remember, right? I'm so busy that it's not something that I do intentionally, but it's like, I don't leave reviews, So what happens is, if a business doesn't have reviews, and a lot of reviews, right? So we have to look at it like this. You got to look at when we're doing these reputation campaigns, and I know I'm going off a little bit of what we're talking about, but this is like really important for you guys to understand, because it really matters on the return on investment on an advertising client. So if their competition, right, that business owner, their competition, if they have more reviews, all right, then the person that wants to advertise with us, okay, or you, well, what's going to happen? What do you think is going to happen? Well, it's pretty straightforward. If their reviews aren't, as many, if they don't have as many reviews as their competition, and they don't have a killer social media presence, basically they're not posting, then what's going to happen is, in the modern customer journey, right, people are going to land on your ad, on your client's ad. They're going to click on it. They're going to look at it. But see, when you're on Google and you're searching for like carpet cleaning, like you see here, we're not going to be the only ad that's going to be on there, right? It's not going to be the only business that'll be there. Okay. They're going to be, right at the top, there'll be 3 companies. Maps, there'll be like 5 or 6. And at the bottom, there'll be a lot more, like maybe 3, 4, 5 more. So this is really important. creating teaching these business owners how to collect data on their clients by maybe creating some kind of coupon or something. If they leave their name, they'll get 10% off. I mean, we can come up with a million different scenarios for you and for your client. But what happens is, with our reputation campaigns that we have, we'll take that data that client compiled, right? And then we'll upload it, and we'll create these SMS campaigns and these email campaigns, and we'll actually go after their customers and ask for a review. That's how they beat the competition, right? So going back to this slide right here, we have this extension inside of Google Ads, which allow advertisers to include third-party reviews in their search ads, which is huge. And if you could see here on my screen, who are you going to click, right? Look at how that 4.5 rating is compared to everyone else. So again, that'll generate a lot more click-throughs. People are going to click on that ad, and that's really important for an advertiser. Again, I mentioned social. The reason why I mentioned social, some businesses are great for social. Some businesses aren't. It's okay. You don't have to advertise on, Instagram and Facebook. But the deal is, you have to have a presence, right? Because think of that consumer. They're going to click on the ad. They're going to look at the reviews. They're going to look at, they'll click on social. Why wouldn't they? Everybody does, to check out their social media. And then that business hasn't posted since 2017. So it looks like the business is kind of like out of business, right? They're not active, and that totally turns off the consumer. Next, the other thing is, if they have a crappy website, or if that website doesn't have a call to action, doesn't drive them to do something, right, to get them to go where that business wants them to go, that's another issue. So you're looking at three things that are really important here for advertising. You have to have reviews, at least on par with the competition or more. There has to be some kind of social posting going on, even if it's once or twice a week. It has to be done to give that business the credibility. And of course, they have to have a sweet website, right? Something that looks really nice, gives that business the credibility. All that matters in the customer journey. And again, if you're trying to sell an advertising campaign to a business and they don't have reviews, or they have only a few and their social's bad, what's going to happen, guys, is that we're going to be advertising for the competition, because that consumer will click off and go to the competitor. 100% they will go to the competition. So it's important for you guys to understand that when you're trying to sell advertising, always look at the other part, the other side of their business, right? Take a look at their online presence to ensure that, hey, we're ready to rock and roll. Now, if they want to advertise anyway, then fine, we'll do it, as long as you made it clear to them that their return on their investment is not going to be as good as if we were, if they had all their ducks in a row, right? If all the bases were covered. All right. So let's talk about local extensions here, guys. Local extensions are when people do like a nearby search on mobile for that customers or that businesses, that type of business, right? That business will show up at the top of the list and make it easy to find their way there. So these location extensions are awesome because they can help the consumer find that ad quickly. And this is really important with a map. This is what I was talking about with the maps, right? The address, the distance to the business. People can click and tap that extension to get to that location page, which includes the most relevant business information in one place. So local extensions can also include a phone number and a call button. So if you take a look at my screen here, over 50% of consumers search locations online and visit within one day. So again, this is all part of this whole advertising that we do, right? How we set up these campaigns. Local extensions are awesome because everybody's on their smartphone. They'll find a Seattle, plumber in Seattle, bam. As you can see, look at the ratings right there, right? That ad's kicking right there. See, they have, almost 5 stars, 172 reviews. But if you take a look at the bottom, Seattle Plumbing and Inspections, 604 reviews. So again, it's all about, building that businesses, building their reviews, getting them to dominate their local markets, right? That's what we do here at Rocket Driver. We want to take that business from 0 to hero. That's what we do. And the only way to do that is to take it stage by stage and step by step. You guys are digital advisors, you're consultants. And if you do that, you'll have a client for life, right? Doing things the right way, doing it with integrity and not just trying to make a buck and selling something to someone. Again, you have to do things by the book here and follow. That's why running those online presence report, in the Sales and Success Center is so important. So exactly, what are the pain points of that business and what you're going to talk to them about first. All right, next slide here. All right, so again, everybody's on mobile, right? This is this stat right here that mobile's dominant. This is a 2020 stat, guys. The average person, that's average. There are people like millennials that'll spend even more time on a smartphone, but right now it's 5.7 hours daily, and it's just growing. Okay, consumer attention online is mobile. 62% of the time is spent in mobile digital media, right? 90% are spent in apps like Instagram and Facebook and all these other apps that are there, games maybe, right? Marketer focus follows consumers. Mobile ad spending is going to hit $123 billion, guys, in 2021. All right. Again, COVID, everything that's going on right now, you would think that, people stopped advertising. They did for like a month, right? Right when COVID hit in March and everything was kind of chaotic and no one knew what was going on. Everybody was kind of hey, it's the end of the world type of gig. But now, things change right away. In April and May, I said it last, 2 weeks ago, we broke sales records. We sold, our partners sold more this year than they did last year, guys. Why? Because every business needed to be online. They need to advertise. Businesses war. Everybody's fighting for the competition. I mean, this industry is explosive right now, and all of you should really be taking advantage of that and going out and helping. I mean, these business owners, because I say it all the time, 99.9% of them don't have a clue about their online presence. It's your job as an agency, right? As a consultant, as a digital advisor, to help them and take them step by step and get them, I always say this, they have to look amazing online. They need to be found online, right? They need to be competitive. They have to have that killer reputation. They have to have a social media presence. Very, very important. Another type of advertising is display advertising that we do here. Site retargeting, all right? And this is this is a staggering statistic, guys. A staggering 98% of all website traffic does not convert into sales. When we target digital advertising towards people who have already visited the client's website, we are reaching a warm audience who already knows that business, right? And what we do is we remind these people to return to the website and take a valuable action like calling, sending an email, filling out a form, basically buying something online, right? So retargeting is display. It's like a banner ad, right? Auto dealer, a user visits the website but leaves without converting. As the user performs other online activities, we're going to show relevant ads that are going to appear on all these different sites all over the web. It could be car and driver, it could be whatever. All right. Upon clicking through that ad, the user returns to the initial website and again converts. So it's all about, you know, doing that Google campaign, right? Having them click, but making sure that we have codes on that site that, you know, it's going to that what's going to happen is that we're going to, since we have that information on that prospect that clicked on that ad, we're going to follow that prospect all over the place. We'll follow them on a smartphone. We'll follow them on a tablet. We'll follow them on their desktop. I'm sure you guys have clicked on a site and you're like, man, you could be on YouTube on your TV, right? And that ad's going to show. It's like everywhere. Can be anywhere. You could be using, you know, a map, you know, like Waze or something in your car, and bam, that ad pops up. So retargeting is huge, guys. It's huge. It really is. And it's very important. So what I'm doing here is, you know, again, breaking down the, you know, different scenarios of how we put together an advertising campaign for, you know, your clients. All right. So we have the site retargeting and we also have search retargeting, right? Search retargeting is when people search for that business online, they're showing us that they're interested, right? So with search retargeting, we'll be targeting that advertiser specifically toward, we'll be targeting that person specifically towards people who have shown interest in their products and services. Again, a user performs search. We collect the data associated with that search. As the user browses the web, relevant ads appear based on the keyword search. The user clicks on the ad and it converts. So you have site retargeting, them landing on a site and us following them all over the place. And we also have search retargeting based on when they're searching, we know exactly what they're searching for, and then we can basically follow them and show ads to these people. So this is all about display ads, right? Again, another way of you know, advertising using the strategy, right? Now here, this other display advertising that we have here is geofencing. Geofencing is all about targeting a physical area, guys, like a restaurant, a store, a neighborhood, a car dealership. So what we do is we pass ads to those people who pass through that geofence, right? That they're going to pass through that whole area that we have blocked out. It could be a block. It could be 2 blocks. It could be 3 feet. It doesn't matter, guys. It's all about us creating that area. It could be more than that. It could be half a mile. You follow what I'm saying? So this is a great way to, again, target customers, man, based on them just walking around in that area. Bam. And it's an amazing way that we can do this. So let's talk about the features. So we're going to pinpoint the accuracy with custom geofence shapes and sizes. For like 30 days, we could do it. We'll boost their mobile performance and reach. We'll retarget customers who visit through that location, track offline or last mile conversions to measure that campaign's effectiveness. And the GPS base, which is different from geofencing, is more accurate to 3 feet. Audiences entered that blueprinted perimeter with their location services on, which mostly everybody will have their device ID captured and eligible to be retargeted across multiple platforms. So we could target people who visit that business's competitors. We could target people who visit locations that indicate that they're interested in that business, right? A car dealership. Let's say we did a fence on Joe's Ford, right? And then you have Anthony's, Toyota. So we're going to geofence everybody that went to the Ford dealership, and then we're going to show them ads. We're going to show them Tony's ads for the Toyota dealership. Do you follow how that works? Or if someone went to like Burger King and we created that fence around there, same thing. They went to Burger King. Well, guess what? McDonald's now is going to show them an ad, because McDonald's would be our advertiser. We're going to show an ad to every single person that went to that Burger King. We'll show them a McDonald's ad. So again, this technology is very, very high end, guys. And we really take it to the next level. And it's important that all of you understand how all of this works and be able to explain it in a simplified way. We have in the Rocket Driver knowledge base, in the resources section, we have tons of PowerPoints and PDFs that'll explain all of this technology here. And it'll go actually, pretty deep in it. So that way you could use it as a crutch, right? You can kind of reference it when you're talking to someone. You could have it there, and you could share that on. You could do a Zoom meeting and share it online with them. All right. Next type of advertising is social advertising, right? Again, remember what I said. We can combine all of these we can combine this whole strategy. We can do the display, we can do the Google ads, right? The search, we can combine it with social. And it's, again, just whole strategy. But, how we get to this point is by really talking to the client and finding out exactly, what their needs are, the type of industry they are, and then we'll come up with that strategy for them to see if it actually makes sense for that business. So Facebook advertising. On Facebook, the recipe for success is reaching a highly targeted audience. It's hitting them an optimal amount of times within a certain time period. So number one, reach a minimum number of people, of unique people, guaranteed. 2, frequency. We're a minimum frequency per targeted person. Reach. We can say, hey, we can hit that, because people have to see ads. I forgot the number. I think it's like 5, 6, or I think it's actually even more than that. I don't have that actual figure here, but people have to see the ads a certain amount of times before they actually, because there's so much noise out there, as we call it. So what happens is you have to constantly keep hitting that person with the ad so they can finally sink in. So we could set the frequency, we can set a minimum, a maximum. There are so many different settings inside of Facebook that we can hit. It's unbelievable how targeted. We can drill it down by age, by location, by what they're basically based on their wages, how much they earn. There's like a 1,000 different categories that you can click. And again, that's all done when we talk to your client and ask them, hey, what's your target audience? Who is your ideal customer? And that's all in the process of discovery. That's all in the process of when you guys fill out those forms. We ask a bunch of questions so we know exactly how to target what person to actually target and how deep we can get. Again, there's no guessing with what we do, guys. Everything is very state of the art on our end in terms of technology, and highly, highly targeted, and drilled down as deep as we can possibly go to get them, the results that they need. Now, this is the technology here. It's called Innovation Spotlight, guys. Think about this. Only the right people are going to see the client's ad. We're going to advertise locally targeted. We're going to choose the target audience and the number of people that want to reach. We're going to segment by age. This is what I was saying: gender, location. Guaranteed advertising. That target audience will see the ad guaranteed up to 5 times. The price, it's a fixed budget, guys. No surprises. Not like, sometimes, like, give an example. When you're doing Google ads, what happens is that there's a bidding process there. So the actual click per call, the CPC, as we call it, the cost per click, there are variables there because it's going to really depend on other advertisers, right? So it kind of goes up and down, and there's other there's other categories that, you know, that will make that CPC go up or down. You know, the quality of the page, the quality of the ad, does everything match? So there, it's the Google ads. That's why it's important to have that high-end technology, is because there's so much going on with Google ads is so dynamic, right? It's constantly changing. So for someone to sit there, they'd have to sit there for 24/7 and watch everything that's going on, and that would be like virtually impossible. Anyway, with this service that we offer, guys, we're going to create the ads for your client based on their objectives, and we're going to, you know, follow it from the beginning to the end. During the course of the campaign, we're going to continuously optimize to get the best results. Constantly, again, looking, you know, the AI, the human eye, we're constantly looking at the campaigns to ensure that it's optimized the best that it can possibly be to give the best ROI, right, on that actual dollar. Another thing that's important about Facebook Innovation Spotlight and its technology, it's all about mobile, guys. Your clients' ads will appear in a newsfeed of the targeted audience, mostly on their phone and right between the updates of their friends. So what happens is the ad stands out. That's it. I mean, it's right there. It's going to stand out. Instagram, same thing, right in the feed. It stands out, guys. So again, targeted, right? Going after that client, that customer, that is the exact demographic that they're looking for. Let me just plug this in here. Anyway, okay, cool. I got unplugged there. Now let's talk a little bit about the technology here, reporting that we have, so you guys have an idea. With the click to call campaigns, guys, every call is recorded and transcribed. We have call tracking intelligence that it will improve the process and the performance. We track inbound conversations, recorded, transcribed with keyword tags, able to identify trends and uncover intent to take action. Your clients can refine call handling and track the investment through keyword mentions, reservation, credit cards, appointment. We optimize ads that convert to calls. So think about this, guys. Every single phone call that is made to that business owner will be tracked. Every single call. That way, we know your client can't say to you, "Hey, I didn't get any leads." You will know immediately. They will know immediately, and you can prove to them, and I will show you if they picked up the call, how long they were on the call for. Basically, was it a voicemail? Did someone not pick up the phone? Maybe there wasn't a voicemail available. They just lost the call. So having this type of reporting here, guys, it's important because it's all about, you know, proving to that customer that we generated the lead, and they can actually go back, they can hear their calls, and they can see exactly what what happened. They can listen to their salespeople talk to their prospects. So there's a lot that they can do to make their campaigns actually better, and create a more of a killer presentation or conversion, right? That's what it comes down to. Another thing that we create are, and this is part of the advertising, we'll create landing pages. It's an extra cost, but if your client wants it, will create a landing page that will be fully optimized, guys. This, as you can see here, if you take a look at these banners, just look how consistent the advertising is for these display ads right here. If you look at, this ad here, these are like banner ads, those tall ads, I'm sure you've seen them before, these smaller ads here, right? And then the landing page. What does the landing page do? Well, the landing page obviously it's exactly the same as the banner ad, right? You have that consistency. So it's designed to work flawlessly across all channels, on desktop, on tablet, on smartphone, online. The message is always the same. If you notice, right? Who knew a salad could be this good? Who knew a salad could be this good? Who knew a salad could be this good? Look at the banners. Look at on the smartphone. It's right there. Check out, on the desk, on the laptop, right there. Consistent, guys. Get directions, right? These ads, when they click on these ads, bam, the message always has to be consistent, always consistent. All right, let's talk a little bit about the reporting that we have, kind of show you the how we drill this down. All right, these are the display reports, right? And your clients can see impressions. Impressions are the amount of times that the ad, right, the ad that I just showed you, right, loaded in the viewable section of an advertiser's site, right? Clicks, that's the amount of clicks on the ad, pretty straightforward. Click-through rates, the percentage of clicks into impressions used as a loose guide. So click-through ratio, the higher the click-through ratio, obviously, better that you're doing on the campaign. And again, there's you could have and that's kind of tough also, because you can have because it's all about quality, right? You could have a high click-through ratio. Let's say the campaign wasn't optimized enough. You can have a super high click-through ratio. You can have 5% of everyone that saw that ad click on, the ad, which is huge in the industry, right? And then, but the people that clicked weren't qualified. So necessarily the click-through ratio always matters, yes, but it's the quality of the actual person that's clicking, right? It's that targeted customer, which is important. And remember what I said, we will find out who that targeted customer is by talking, by you asking questions, giving you those questions on those forms that we have to ask exactly what is the type of customer that they are looking for, right? Click visits, the amount of visitors who clicked and then physically navigated to the conversion zone. This can be business location. This can be, a form. This could be phone call. This could be, the whole variety of different, every business is different, right? It could be purchasing something on the online store. And view visits, the amount of users who saw the ad but did not click and it physically navigated to the conversion zone. So this is just like one little piece of the reporting that we have. Display reports. Here we can display geofencing reports, list of all geofence locations that are being tracked and reported on. So again, very detailed and drilled down. Contextual keywords data, list of contextual ad placements based on the web page topic and keywords we are pairing with the display ads. So as you can see, they will be able to see basically everything that is going on in their campaign, which is amazing. Display reports, again, by clicking, in the dashboard, they can click, display ad preview, and they can actually see the ads that we created for them. It's everything, all the reporting that we have is 100% transparent. Social reports, again, kind of like the other one, right? Impressions, the amount of times the ad created, loaded in the viewable section of the website. Here you have like 10 million impressions, right? Link clicks, 87,000, the amount of clicks on the ad creative, call to action button, expanded text, a link, whatever. Click-through rate, the percentage of clicks into impressions. Again, 0.85. Total ad reach, the amount of unique devices served, can be thought of as individual users. You have like 7 million here, actual devices that saw that ad, right? Post reactions and shares, likes, comments, good, bad, indifferent. People actually sharing, right? How many? Then that's on this campaign. You see here 1,000 people shared the ads there. Anyway, let's keep going down here. More reporting. again, this is for leads forms, right? The amount of users who successfully completed a lead form for lead-based social campaigns. There's all different types of campaigns. This is a lead-based one, right? They want them to fill out a form. Page likes, the amount of users who like the business Facebook page directly attribute to our likes campaign. Again, there's a likes campaign too that we can turn on. Offer claims, the amount of offers saved by a target audience to their Facebook account from an offer campaign. So if someone's offering 10% off, it's going to show exactly how many people saved it, right, to their account. So that way they can redeem it later. Outbound clicks, the amount of clicks on our ad that directs users outside of Facebook or Instagram. So let's say you're running an ad on Facebook, and instead of them filling out a form inside of Facebook, you want them to go to a landing page. This here will basically show you exactly that, right? Conversions, the amount of clicks, actions a user takes that the business owner partner has asked to track. Again, conversions, those are the actual, could be sales. It could be leads, right? That, form fills. It could be purchases. It could be, again, we'll place a tracking code, so we'll know exactly. Normally, it's the tracking code is placed on a thank you page, right? When someone purchases something, they get a thank you page. When someone fills out a form, they get a thank you page. Kind of, and that's what we do. We add code to wherever that's going to be. Social reports, again, they'll be able to look at the ads and take a look at the amount of impressions, clicks, post engagement, likes, shares, reactions, comments for each ad copy, right? We just showed you there before was the campaign overall. This is now breaking it down by just one ad, right? So think about it. You can have a company that can have 20 ads, 30 ads, depending on their size. Think of a car dealership. They can have 100. They're selling, 100 different cars or 50 different cars or whatever. This could be huge. Or an e-commerce, right? Someone that's selling a ton of different, could be, I don't know, let's just say women's handbags, right? And the ad here would be, the social ad would be the handbag. So this would track the actual, that actual one ad of like the blue Italian leather handbag. That's just one ad right here, guys, just to show you how intense this is and how we can drill down and track everything. Search reports. This is for Google search ads. As you can see here, it has display ads, Facebook, search ads, YouTube, call details, landing page performance, guys. This is what, again, what the report shows. Everything is transparent. And when you have transparency, you have clients that will keep paying you. When you deliver, like we do on, on the actual service, they will keep paying you. That's why we have an 85, I think it's like 86% retention rate right now on every business that we do an advertising campaign for, which is huge in the industry, guys, huge. So again, search reports. This is Google search ads, right? When someone types in Google, there you go. Those are the impressions, right? The clicks, click-through ratio. Click-through ratios on Google search ads are always going to be more than on Facebook, all right? So it's just the way it is. Facebook always has a lower click-through rate, but the targeting that you could do on Facebook, it could be, there's a lot more information, because think about it. What Facebook did is that everybody basically went on Facebook and gave them their whole life story, right? Facebook knows who your friends are. Instagram, they know who your friends are, what you like, right? What types of cars, food, where you travel. I mean, your family, it knows everything, guys. It's unbelievable how much data is being tracked by Facebook and Instagram, and they just know everything about you. They know your personality. They know everything. Like I said, they probably know you better than you know yourself. Because remember, this is data, and you're talking about technology, and that technology will attack you, and it'll know exactly what points to push to get you to purchase, right? What's going to make you change your mind? It's used a lot in voting, right? And these political campaigns where they know, based on the data that they have, they'll go in, they'll look at the data and they'll say, okay, here in Cobb County, we have 500, 500 undecided, or maybe a city. Let's go into a little town. This could be a little town of maybe a couple thousand people, and there could be, that's how this data drills down. You can have a population, let's say 1,000, tiny town, middle of nowhere, right? And the data that's out there right now, you can go in these, and you could say, all right, out of those 1,000 people, we know that there are like 100 people that are on the fence. They don't know if they're going to vote Democrat. They don't know if they're going to vote Republican. These are people that we can send ads to change their minds. You follow, guys? It's crazy the way the technology is. And that's how elections are run. It's that granular. It goes down to the actual individual, because they know that individual. They know what that individual is posting on their Facebook, on their Instagram, right? They know they know where that individual is searching on the web. What are they searching for? What do they like? Right? What are their interests? Are they conservative? Right? Are they right wing? Are they left wing? Guys, it's just unbelievable. So, point I'm trying to make is that the data that we have, the technology that we have, and the platforms that we have to market are just unbelievable. So we can and we will generate, leads for your clients, no doubt about it. Anyway, here's just another performance. This is breaking it down by ad group here. The results of each of our ad groups within that campaign. You can have several campaigns and you can have tons of different ad groups, right? So this just gives you an idea of how we break it down. Keywords, we break, the top 10 performing keywords. Again, that's what's important. Obviously attracts even more, right? If you're bidding on 50 keywords, 100 keywords. Let's see here. Search reports. Again, this is more of a pie type of, of a report. It's showing impressions by device, right? How many people landed on, we're searching through a computer, through mobile, through tablets. How many clicks, right? By device. Again, was it tablets, computers? As you can see, mobile is just insane. And look at the size of that pie. It's just huge. So, again, the reporting is just very, very granular. It really is. YouTube, again, guys, same thing, impressions. This is a little different because it's got video views, right? The amount of times the video was viewed all the way to the end. The average cost per view, that's called a CPV, the amount the client spent for each completed view of the video, right? So YouTube is really inexpensive to advertise, by the way. A great platform, really is. Again, not for every business, but it's a great platform because it's so inexpensive. Here you're looking at 6 cents per view, right? Again, it'll tell you the average video completion, right? 75%. Maybe if with the report, you'll know if they watch 5% of the video, 10% of the video, 50% of the video. As you can see here, we kind of break it down so you have an idea of the users, how they viewed. So what's great about this is that we'll know exactly where the drop-off rate is. Let's say, your client created an advertising, a bid, and it's a 30-second clip, right? And we're advertising it on YouTube for that business. We'll know exactly, and your client will know where they're losing that. Where they're losing that customer or that prospect. Did they drop off in the first 5 seconds, 10 seconds, 15 seconds? That way, if they're dropping off, let's say the majority are dropping off in the first 10 seconds, or let's just say 5 seconds, the majority are dropping off in the first 5 seconds, then obviously there is an issue with the opening of that message, right? So that's one thing that they could look at, you could look at, we could look at, and we could say, hey, you need to redo this, advertising video, because people are just not, they're not getting it. They're just dropping off with, like 90%, 95% are dropping off in the first 5 seconds. So nobody's watching the rest of your advertisement. This is the call tracking report I was showing you guys. It has the date when the call occurred, the call number, right? The number of the user who called. So you even have the phone number, you have all that. You have the duration of the call, the classification of the call. It could be an IVR voicemail, abandoned, right? At regular voicemail, conversation. Did it transfer and abandon? Was it a wrong number, unknown? Gives you everything. So again, when we're doing that, we're doing these advertising campaigns for these businesses, man, this is really impressive. And to show them, all these reports, to show them like, hey, we have this down so granular that it's ridiculous. We know everything that's going on with their campaign. That's why our campaigns are so successful. The technology is so state of the art, and we track everything. All right. You can listen to the call recordings within the live dashboard by clicking the header at the top of the page, right? Click on it, bam, listen to the call. Select view call log on the business, done. And here you go. If you could see click the tracking report, you click right there, and then they can hear everything, guys. So again, they can't tell you that, hey, I didn't get any leads. Oh yeah, you can. Just go inside the business center and then, bring up your advertising intelligence, because that is the actual software, and they will be able to see all of this back here. You will be able to show them all of this back here. Landing page performance. Again, we track everything. We're going to track what's going on with that landing page, right? We're going to display the interaction with our landing page per medium. Can you use, we can use this tool to dissect traffic and conversion, guys. We'll know exactly who's landing on the page. Was it Google, Facebook, Instagram, right? So it could be a newsletter that they have going on. The performance, looked at items in a cart, right? The product page, other clicks, they booked an appointment. So we could track users any way that you can, any way that they want to basically, whatever their conversion is. Again, if it's a button, if it's to apply, if it's a coupon, if it's to book an appointment, whatever it is, it's right here, guys. We could track it all. It's all here. All right, and this is the process. So we do it all with you, right? So how does it work? Well, it's pretty straightforward, guys. We'll do a discovery session and with you, right? We'll talk to you about it. We're going to determine the goals with your clients and the value of a new customer. It's very important to find out how much is a customer, what's the value of that new customer, right? How much is that customer worth, right? Next thing is we're going to determine what the client would like to promote. Very important, right? We'll provide tracking codes for installation. We're going to request access to their site to install it. And then we're going to have the campaign up and run in 10 business days. This is like a brief, it's a very short overview of the process, because again, there are so many questions that the form will ask and the information that you're going to compile. This is just like a quick overview of it here. Anyway, guys, I really appreciate having you here tonight. I hope you guys got a good kick out of this meeting here. There's an issue with Zoom for some reason. I don't know what happened, but I got to have my team, contact their support because the chat's not working for some crazy, reason. I don't know why it is. It has nothing to do with us. But really appreciate having you guys here. Like I said before, in the resources section, you can go back there and you can see everything that I just showed you. If you go under advertising in the Rocket Driver knowledge base, there is a wealth of information to educate you guys on how all this works. In the Rocket Driver Partner Portal under digital ads, there's also an explanation of our campaigns, of our technology. We have some great vids back there. If you guys haven't watched them, I suggest you watch them. The reason why I'm doing this webinar here on advertising, guys, because every single business today needs advertising. They're all fighting for that client. So it's important for all of you to understand that and to understand advertising and how it works. So like I said, we have plenty of, there's enough knowledge back there to get you guys up to speed quickly. You have a library of information, and you always have our support team that will always be here to answer any questions that you have. You know, we're here for you. Anyway, guys, I really appreciate it. You have a great week. I hope your week has been prosperous. Thank you so much for spending your time with me here today.